Aluhu. El Shaddai Lehenu Leavotenu. Amiama Biyaska Rabiato. Atakadosh, Weshemeka Kadosh, Baruch Shemeka Dolam Nae. Wesham B'nei Israel El Shabbat Lasso El Shabbat Ledor Tam Leolam. Beni B'nei Israel Otilolam. Isheshe Elohim Masa El Shaddai Wa We'etaris Ubayom Mashvi Shabbat Wa'inafash. Baruch Shemeka, Baruch Yebeneka, Baruch Tulateka, Baruch Kushateka. El Shaddai Malek, El Shaddai Malak, El Shaddai Imlo, Lolam Ma'eh. Baruch Shem Kabo Makuto Lolam Ma'eh. Baruch Kabo Lohim Kumo Melech Elyon. Aluhu Lolam Ma'eh. First of all, I'd like to give our honor and praise to the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, the great mighty revered God, the Most High God, who bestows his loving kindness, possesses all things, who remembers the pious deeds of the patriarchs, the Most High, slow of anger, great in kindness, forgiving iniquity and transgressions, for who by no means clear the guilty, visiting iniquities of fathers upon the children to the third and fourth generation. The Most High, his work is perfect for all his ways of justice, God of faithfulness and without iniquity, just and right is he. Giving due respect and honor to a head in Israel, my father, Chief Eleazar, to the chief men, princes, brothers and sisters, I say unto you the tongue of my forefathers, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, God.
If you don't look forward to the things that God has ordained, then you need to work on yourself. Then you need to work on yourself. Because the Sabbath day is a delight, man. I don't even know the words to clarify or how to express it, but it's a very delightful thing. When that sixth day come around, and I know I'm leaving work early to get home, pick up my truck, run out to Queens, pick up my kids, bring them back, and start preparing for the Shabbat day. There's no day like this day, man. No. There's no day like the day that God has ordained for man to cease from work. God even acknowledged this day because he ceased from creating. He ceased from creating. And during the creation, God set an example. It's an example that God has set for mankind to follow. I said it's an example that God has set for mankind to follow. But people don't delight in these things because it's too much restrictions. It's too many restrictions. It restricts you from doing the things that you love, that you desire, that you like. You got to have some type of boundaries in your life. When do you begin? When would you or when would we begin to draw that line? Each and every one of us should have a boundary or a line that you will not cross to offend God or man. Why? Because by standards, facts. And if you don't have that boundary within yourself, which is that line that you will not cross to offend God or your fellow man or your fellow or your neighbor, then what boundaries do you have with yourself? People like that can't serve God. You have to be able to acknowledge your faults within yourself so that you can correct it. If you can't acknowledge your faults within yourself, then you cannot correct. You cannot be better with God. First, we got to realize that we all have faults. I said we are all faulty before God. There's nobody perfect. There's nobody whole and complete like Joshua and Caleb. You think you like Joshua and Caleb? Shoot. Huh? Do we really we're like Joshua and Caleb, whole and complete. God said that.
That's right.
He said, the rest of you dudes, y'all gonna die in the wilderness. The only two guys that followed me wholly was Joshua and Caleb. When you follow God wholly, complete, all sides, every corner, everything is covered. Let's go into the law. Deuteronomy chapter 17. And I didn't get this feeling immediately. I was born in the way. My father raised me in this truth, in this way of life. But as I was growing, I didn't delight in God's day like I delight in it now. People may think and look at you, man, you blessed. No, I'm blessed that I have not served no other God. But there have been times that I rushed the Shabbat. I'm not going to lie to you, man. Because I'm rushing the Shabbat to get back to my daily activities. The things that I desire and love to do. But only in time. In time, you will begin to develop a certain kind of love for God. You're not going to love God right away. You only got a year doing this. You only got 2 years doing this. You only got 6 months doing this. Or if you got doing this all your life, you've been in and out with God your whole life. So that love and that bond, you got to build that by being what? Steadfast. By being constant. By pushing. By staying afloat with God. And riding that wave. Keep riding it. Stand firm. In time, you will develop the love for God, man. In time, you will love the Sabbaths. In time, you will be joyful on his appointed seasons and appointed times. You don't develop that love right away. That comes in time. You got to put work in. Deuteronomy chapter 17.
Thou shalt not sacrifice unto the Lord thy God any bullock or sheep, wherein is blemish, or any evil favoredness.
Now, somebody asked the question, how do you rush the Shabbat? There are ways things that people do to rush the Shabbat. If you go to one camp, why do you continue to visit 2 and 3 other camps? Trying to burn time. Some people go for walks. Long period of walks. Some people continue off and on. Look at their watch. Conversation. Trying to burn time. Sleep the day off. By all means, the day is not to sleep. I said the Shabbat is not to sleep.
Oh, but it said rest, brother.
When God said rest, Shabbat means to desist, to cease, to stop. Cease from work. Cease from your daily activities that you so delight in on those 6 days and sanctify God's holy day. Separate it. Put a difference between the 6 working days and this day. And this day. Put a difference. So read that verse over, Chief.
Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 1. Thou shalt not sacrifice
unto the Lord thy God
any bullock or sheep, wherein is blemish.
Thou shalt not sacrifice unto the Lord thy God a bullock or sheep, wherein there is a blemish. You know what a blemish is? A physical defect, a moral stain. Animals can have a defect. Guess what? Humans can have a defect. What defects us is when we violate the moral principles of God. When we violate the commandments of God. You know where the defect, you know where's the stain? That moral stain, that defect is in your spirit. That defect only God can see. I cannot see your spirit to tell if it's defective. Anything that's defective can't be used. That's why God pushed us away. Because we are before the eyes of God in a defective state. We are defective before God, man. We do things that God hate, man. I said we do things that God hate, man. And willingly, and it don't bug you. It don't bug your mental or your state of mind to say, well, man, no guilt about how you're doing or what you're doing that is against what God said. But again, these things only develop in time. I care more now than 10 years before. Hey, I said I care more now about how I live my life before God than 15 years before. The things that I would do 15 and 20 years before, I won't do now. Because I'm more on point with myself and I'm more into God and what God needs me to be into so that I can be accepted by my God. I want God to accept me, man. I want God to accept me. And the only way to get God to accept me, I got to do right. I got to live right according to the standards that God has set. Not according to my standards. Not according to nobody's standards. The only standards that matters is the standards of God.
The God of my Father.
Okay? So now, moral stain. Moral stain. Morals are principles of right and wrong in behavior. You know what principles is? Your principles are what guides you. The principles is what guides you and shows you what to do, what not to do, how to walk, how not to walk, what is right, what is wrong. No, I shouldn't talk like this. No, I shouldn't move this way. No, I can't act this way. I can't treat you this way because the laws is about how we treat each other. Remember that. Please remember that. Morals are principles of right and wrong in behavior. The goodness or badness of human character. Those are your morals. You don't notice how when a child act up, the parent come and say, I didn't raise you that way. Your parents are the ones that teaches you the morals. Your morals, man. A person's standard of behavior or beliefs concerning what is and is not acceptable for them to do. Huh? That's right. Your morals or your ideas. Your morals or your ideas about what is right or wrong. That's the first thing that's going to come to your mind is a thought.
Oh, of course.
Before you move on it, before you say it, it's going to come to your mind first. Then you have to correlate it with the book. Correlate those ideas and opinions and your thoughts with what God said. Now you ask yourself, was I right thinking that way? Was I right moving this way? Was I right doing this? You can't just move off your first thought. Because sometimes the first thought is not the right thought. It's not a good thought. It's not a right thought, man. It's an impulse. Your morals or your ideas about what is right or wrong, especially how you should act and treat people. Tom sheep.
Thou shalt not sacrifice unto the Lord thy God any bullock or sheep wherein is blemish or any evil favoredness, for that is an abomination unto the Lord thy God. If there be found among you within any of thy gates which the Lord thy God giveth thee.
How highly do you think about your God? You must not think so highly about your God to give him a blemished animal with a defect. A physical, no, you give God the best.
I said, you give God the best. You don't give him a three-legged animal,
or sick animal,
a scurvy animal, something that's sick. That's why God turned around. He said, listen, he said, give it to your governor and see what he gonna tell you. See what he gonna tell you.
Yeah.
Time sheet. Read.
Verse 2. If there be found among you within any of thy gates, which the Lord thy God giveth thee, man or woman that
have done wickedness
in the sight of the Lord
in the sight of God,
in transgressing his covenant.
In transgression. The word for transgression is abad. It means in departing away from the covenant of God.
Going away.
Ain't that something? The only nation that God went into covenant with, the only nation that God had an agreement with, the only nation that God made a deal with. So by God making deals with us, we can make deals with God.
Yes.
Oh Lord God, deliver me out of this situation. And I will never back up. You start running your mouth before God.
Right on the start.
Yeah, you gotta go make covenants with your God
and live by it.
and live by it.
You better live by it.
That's when you draw God's attention towards you. He likes when you make deals and covenants. You see, Yephthah said, he said, oh Lord God, if you deliver these people into my hand, I will sacrifice or offer up the first thing that comes into my house.
And he lived by it.
God looked, Jews, he said, okay, I got you. He said, go ahead. Went forth, he won the war. The first thing came into his house was his daughter.
He said, yeah, you gotta go.
He did not make an not excuse, not a separation. What's the word?
A distinction.
He didn't make a distinction.
He said, well, no, no.
Oh, distinction.
I wasn't talking about
He didn't say a first animal. He said the first thing that comes into my house, I gotta offer it. Now, in the Psalms, it says that the things that we have spoken, the Psalms, was it Psalms 15? I think it's Psalms 15. Let's go there for a second. Because I don't want to get it. I don't want to get it. I don't want to say the wrong thing. I think it's Psalm 15. If I'm not mistaken, it's Psalm 15. You got it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. Say, in whose eyes a vile person is contemned, but he honoreth them that fear the Lord. He that sweareth for his own hurt and change it not. The Hebrew word for hurt is evil. He that sweareth evil. Huh? But he don't change. Why he don't change? Even though it was evil and it wasn't right for him to say that, but he swore.
That locks him in. That's right.
So because he swore, it locked him in.
He can't come under that.
People say, oh, they was giving up to a service of God. It didn't say that. People say, she was given to the service and to the work in the. It don't say that because an olah is a burnt one. That's why she cried and went up to beware her virginity. And every year they cried for that woman. If she was alive, then they would not be crying for her.
Thank you.
But people say, oh, no, she didn't really burn. He burnt her and sent her up.
Yes.
God don't accept human sacrifices. But he swore it. That was just a one-time thing. You know, people,
they didn't do that.
They didn't do that. Tom Sheik.
That's right.
Verse 3.
We still in Psalms?
No. Deuteronomy chapter 17.
Right. Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 3. And had gone and served other gods. It's easy to go and serve other gods. The word for gone is yalak. We have to read the law in the Hebrew. When you read the law in the Hebrew, find out the Hebrew word, what it means in the English, and look up the words.
so you can have a certain idea of what the verse is talking about. A better understanding. The word yalak means to go or to walk. To go and to walk. What do you mean going after other gods? How do you go after other gods? To follow, to go means to follow a certain course or procedure. Okay? To follow a certain course or procedure of other gods. This is the course and the procedure of Christians. This is the course and the procedure of the religions, of these religions. This is not the way of a Hebrew. This is not the way or the procedures of a Hebrew. So the only way we can figure out or learn about the procedures and the course of the Hebrews and how Hebrews do things, you must read the book so that you will be able to pinpoint when I'm following other gods or the ways and the customs of other gods. This is why I don't pray before I eat.
Wow.
Because the heathens pray before they eat. And
world,
God
right?
said, after thou hast eaten and before, then you bless the Lord thy God. So basically, you eat first and then bless God. That's our procedure. That's our course. The heathens pray to their deity first before they eat. Let's hold hands. Let's say grace. We don't hold hands and we don't say grace. We don't pray like that. Your posture counts. I say your posture counts.
Perfect example.
Your posture counts when you're praying to God.
That's correct.
When you read the book shows us the correct posture that we should be taking praying when you decide to pray to God. So this is the beamer. The east is behind me. We're supposed to be facing the east.
Right.
But there's no way I can say a prayer with my back towards the east.
Don't do that.
Saying my prayers. No, I got to turn around and face where God told me to face. To go means to follow a certain course or procedure. To be compatible, suitable, or becoming. You can also follow other gods by being the same, by being compatible to them, by being the same, because God gave us laws, commandments, and statutes to differentiate us from the people that we live amongst. God wants us to be different. God wants us to be opposite. God don't want us the same like them. I'm not like you. I don't think like you. I don't walk like you. I don't do nothing like you. My doings got to be different. Everything I do got to be like my forefathers. Because these are the people that God accepts. These are the people that I read about that God has exalted in the heavens. These are the people that God talked about in the heavens. These people are the examples. And these people showed us how to get God's attention. How to attain the ways of God. It's all in this book. We just too stubborn to follow it. We don't want to follow it. We want God to accept us the way we is. We want God to accept us the way we is. We refuse to change. There is no changes in us. There is no changing in us, man. To walk means to pursue a course of action. Okay? So what is a procedure now? A procedure is a tradition or established way of doing things. Traditional is a handing down of information, beliefs, or customs by word of mouth. An inherited pattern of thoughts. I said an inherited pattern of thought. Now, this inherited pattern of thought was passed down. You teach those kids how to think by what you teach them.
Right. What to believe in.
You teach these kids what to believe in by what you teach them. You teach these kids what to fear.
That's correct.
By what you teach them.
Parents.
The parents are the ones that raise these children and guide them in their youth so that when they get older, they have standards. They have standards that they won't cross.
Right.
That's right.
That they are obligated by because of what the parents teach them.
It's set in stone.
It's set in stone.
Same things, it ain't changing. That's right.
A course of action is a procedure adopted to deal with a situation. Huh? You have to adopt this.
That's your thoughts. What you got?
That's right.
That's right.
Huh? Now, when you're adopting something, I don't like it. It's not a part of me.
Not used to it.
I'm not used to it. But I have to train myself. I have to train myself and train myself to accept this by doing it over and over. That's why God said practice.
Adapt to the ways of God.
Huh?
Don't run
Huh?
from it.
Practice.
That's right.
Tom sheet. Verse 4.
Verse 4. And it be told thee that thou hast heard of it, and inquired
No, hold on,
diligently.
go back to 3. And God had
God
gone
had
and
gone and served other gods,
other gods
and
and
worshipped
worshiped them,
either the
either
sun,
the
or
sun,
moon,
the moon.
or any of the hosts of heaven.
All religions stems from astrology.
Make it clear.
Somewhere.
Make
Yeah.
it clear.
All religion stems from sun worship. So I'm going to give you a little synopsis.
Yeah.
During the building of the Tower of Babel,
What happened?
it was ran by Nimrod. I said,
Babylon.
Nimrod was running things.
He ran the world. That's right.
And he was a mighty hunter. He couldn't be defeated. He ran the world at a point in time in history.
That's right. He killed
And
all the kings. Yeah.
He taught in sun worship. But God didn't like what was going on because they was building this tower to reach the heavens, and they was going to accomplish it. God said they was going to accomplish it. So the God of Abraham had to step in, and he confused them. Nobody understood no one. Now that's when each and every one of these people had to separate.
Right.
Your language is different than this one. Everybody's language was different. So guess what happened now? Each person had to migrate into a certain region and build. And when they separated, each and every one of them took sun worship with them.
Yes.
That's what was taught, their belief of sun
All their
worship.
religion.
Every religion stems from sun worship.
All their gods. That's correct.
Tom sheet, verse 4.
And it be told thee that thou hast heard of it, and inquired diligently.
I said,
and
okay, if it be told thee, right?
behold,
Because remember now, we can't go off what people tell you, man. But we still do. It don't take nothing to say, what? That's what he did? Well, let me go ask. Let me go find out. Let me see what's going on first. Before I take your word. That's the godly thing to do. That's the godly thing to do, man. I can't take your word. I have to inquire. The word for inquire diligently is darashta heiti. Darashta heiti means to seek out the good. Find out the good.
That's the law.
That's the law.
Seek the matter out.
I gotta seek the matter out. Find out what took place. What happened? What took place?
Who said what?
What happened? Who said what? Who threw the first punch?
You have to.
What actually happened? Can't go off of what people say, man. Tom Shea.
Inquire diligently, and behold, it be true. And the thing certain that such abomination is wrought in Israel.
Uh-huh.
Verse 5. Then thou shalt bring forth that man or that woman which
Uh-huh.
hath committed that wicked
thing
unto thy gates, even that man or that woman, and shall stone them with stones till they die. At the mouth of two witnesses, or three witnesses, shall he that is worthy of death be put to death. But at the mouth of one witness, he shall not be put to death.
So if you don't have witnesses, leave the matter alone. You bringing up matters and you ain't got no proof about what you're talking about. No proof about what you're saying. But you're just bringing up matters about what you think, how I feel. God is not going to charge me because of how you feel and how you think. That doesn't count with God. You got to have proof. You seen it or you heard of it. And then if you heard of it, who told you? Who told you this? Okay, let's dig into this and see what took place.
Can't give you a secret now.
No. Certain things got to be let out.
Your feelings don't matter when it comes to God.
That's right. Certain things got to be let out.
Who you with?
Certain things got to be said because you done brought a serious matter to me. Now you telling me not to say nothing. How you going to tell me not to say nothing and you done brought up a serious life-threatening matter?
I'd rather you not tell me.
Right.
Then you shouldn't have told me. See, that's when the feelings get involved. How you feel, you got to flush that. Your feelings got to get flushed when it comes to God.
Sorry.
With that being said, we must keep the laws of God here. We got to keep that here and always deal with matters according to what God said, according to what you read. Don't get emotional. Let's read.
Verse 7. The hands of the witnesses shall be first upon him to put him to death. And afterward the hands of all the people. So thou shalt put the evil away from among you. If there arise a matter too hard for thee, in judgment, between blood and blood, between plea and plea, between stroke and stroke, being matters of controversy within thy gates, then shalt thou arise and get thee up into the place which the Lord thy God shall choose.
Right.
Verse 9. And thou shalt come unto the priests, the Levites, and unto the judge that shall be in those days, and inquire. They shall show thee the sentence of judgment.
So you going to who? The judges and who?
The priests, the Levites.
The priests, the Levites, the judges.
That shall be in those
So
days.
we had people in position that dealt with matters. You don't want me to go to the cops, do you?
Yeah. But we got to deal with this.
So if you don't want me to go to the man, then we got to have people that just men. We must have just men, able men that we can go to handle certain matters.
Right.
I can't brush you off. And you shouldn't brush me off.
Right.
If a matter occurs that you need some type of assistance with, at least I didn't go to the cops. At least I ain't dialed 911. I called you.
Hey, don't be mad, man.
Don't be mad at me.
Yeah. You're getting to the bottom of the matter.
This is a heavy matter.
Yeah. Has to be stopped.
But these are the same people that says, leave me alone. Can't tell me nothing. Leave me alone. You can't run a nation like that. We can't run. We can't run a camp like that. Forget about a nation.
You can't run nothing.
We can't have a camp that way where nobody listens to nobody. Everybody just do what they so please, and you can't be told nothing. This is why you have officers, chief men and prince men, governors. And when you have these type of men, you have to live your life live up to those titles, man.
Right.
You can't just be giving out these titles like it's a game. Because the first thing qualification of having a title, you have to be what? Hating covetousness. You have to be just. You have to be impartial. Able man. Man of truth. Hating covetousness. You know what men of truth is, man? Men of truth is, I don't take sides.
Right.
Regardless if you my brother and you my road dog and you my man. But you violated the brother, man. You was wrong in this situation. I gotta back up. I can't walk with you. I can't side with you. Didn't Samuel did that with the king? I said, didn't the prophet Samuel did that with the king?
So I got to fall back.
God rejected him.
He said, my God fell back. I got to fall back.
And because God rejected King Saul, Samuel had to back up. Because if I continue to walk with you, then God gonna look at me and say, I agree with his work, with what he did.
Show what side you want.
Now I gotta show what side I'm on. I'm on my side.
We the same way. That's right.
I can't walk with you no more, man. I gotta back up till you make peace with your maker. I gotta back up till you make peace with your parents.
Oh.
My father mad with one. He look at me. He get mad at me. I said, but why you mad at me? He said, because you're walking with him.
Yup. Yo, many times with me.
My father said that to me. He said, why you? I said, why you mad at me? And we don't like when our parents mad at us. Well, she mad at me, or he mad at me. He'll get over it. No, you. That type of attitude.
You get over it.
I said that type of attitude is not right in the eyes of God.
It's wicked.
Children today do not honor and regard their parents.
Now they make songs about them. That's what they do.
They do not regard and honor their parents. And when their parents is angry and tight with them, you know what they say? She'll get over it.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Or he'll get over it. Let's read.
Verse 10. And thou shalt do according to the sentence which they of that place which the Lord shall choose shall show thee. And thou shalt observe to do according to all that they inform thee. According to the sentence
of the law,
which they shall teach
which
thee.
they shall teach thee.
And according to the judgment which they
according
shall
to
tell
the
thee.
judgment which they shall tell thee.
Thou shalt do.
Thou shalt do.
Thou shalt not decline from
Thou
the
shalt
sentence.
not decline from the sentence
Which they shall show
which they
thee.
shall show thee.
To the right hand.
To the right hand.
Nor to the
nor
left.
to the left.
And the man that will do presumptuously and will not hearken unto the priest.
When you do things presumptuously, you overstep your boundaries. The laws of God is what binds us. I said the laws of God is what gives us boundaries. It draws that line, and it gives us lines and boundaries that we should never cross. Because first we offend God. First we offend God. Be afraid to offend God. I said, be afraid to offend God. Be afraid to do things that God hates. Because if we do continue to do things that God hates, then God is going to hate you.
That's right. Say it again, brother.
We think God is all love.
Just love.
No, this ain't Jake. This ain't the man on the cross. If you continue to do things that God hates, then my God will hate you.
That's right.
Yeah. He's going to despise you because we do the things that God hates, which is iniquity, sin.
God don't promote hate. God don't promote hate.
Oh, no, God will hate you.
Yeah.
He'll despise you.
Yeah, talk about it.
If you do things that he hates and despise.
That's right.
He'll despise children. Oh,
That's
they're
right.
innocent. Not today. The children today is not innocent.
That's right.
The children in this book was innocent. Not today. My 13-year-olds ain't innocent. No, they know what lying is. And when they do things and they tell the truth, they know the difference.
That's right.
I mean, they're not advanced in wickedness, but they know and they're able to discern
They got the basics.
what lying is.
That's right.
Basics.
They got it down.
They're not advanced. Okay, go ahead.
And the man that will do presumptuously will not hearken unto the priest that standeth to minister there before the Lord thy God, or unto the judge, even that man shall die.
Okay.
And thou shalt put away the evil from Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 13.
Verse 13.
And all the people shall hear and fear, and do no more presumptuously.
And all the people shall what?
Hear
and
fear,
and
do no
more presumptuously. What are they hearing and what are they fearing? What's causing them? What's the penalty?
Judgment.
The judgment. But people today is not afraid. They're not afraid.
Amen.
They don't fear, because what instills fear is beat. What? Belief. But what else instills fear? When I see you get stoned.
Yeah.
When I look at you and I see how they stoned you, now that's what's gonna instill fear. You know what my father said? He said, y'all not afraid. Because God ain't put you through the ringer and squeeze you. You ain't been squeezed. Huh?
Yeah.
I said, you have not been squeezed by God. Yeah, man. This is why we walk around here all lollygagging happy like we on Disney World. Like it's a game. This is not a game. I told you every day, we must be doing something towards God to strengthen our belief, to instill that fear that we need in us to fulfill these commandments. You need fear in order to fulfill the commandments of God. You gotta be afraid. Because if you're not afraid, I'll jump in and out. Well, I'll miss the shower for today. What's keeping me going in that shower? Fear. And in time, you will fear by constant doing it. Over and over and over. You have to fulfill it. Fulfill the commandments in order to develop the fear for God.
Action.
That's the only way to develop that fear. For years, I didn't know. I said, how in the world can I fear God like my forefathers? What? How? I wasn't born with the fear of God. No, you wasn't born with the fear of God. We didn't fear God in our youth growing up. You have to develop it. So I asked myself, how do I develop that fear for God? You have to fulfill these commandments. And you have to be doing it over and over and over to where when it's not done, you feel out of place. You feel weird. Time sheet.
Verse 14, when thou art come into the land which the Lord thy God shall,
When thou art come into the land,
thou shalt possess it, and shalt dwell therein, and shalt say, I will set a king over me.
I will set a king over thee.
Like as all the nations.
And that's our problem. We always wanted to be like the people.
That's the problem.
We always wanted to be like the nations.
Like the nation.
The nations got a king. Israel wanted a king. Go ahead.
Like as all the nations that are about me. Verse 15. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy God shall choose. One from among thy brethren shall thou set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. But he shall not multiply horses to himself, nor cause the people to return to Egypt, to the end that he shall multiply horses. For as much as the Lord has said unto you, ye shall henceforth return no more that way. Neither shall he multiply wives.
Neither shall he multiply wives.
That his heart turned not away.
That his heart turned not away. Now these were the rules of the king. He said, don't multiply horses. Don't multiply wives. Because in multiplying horses and wives, guess what happens? Your heart begins to turn away. That your heart turned not away from God. Now, when it's talking about the heart, it's not talking about the actual heart. It's talking about your mind. Okay?
Yeah, ego is big.
All right? Neither shall he greatly multiply himself silver and gold.
And it shall be when he sitteth upon the throne of his kingdom, that he shall write him a copy of
That
this
he shall
law
write him a copy of this law
in the book,
out
out of that which is before
of
the priest
that
the
which is
Levites.
before the priest, the Levites.
And
Right?
it shall-
Go ahead.
And it shall be with him.
And it shall be with
And he
him.
shall read therein all
And
the
he
days
shall
of his
read
life,
therein all the days of his life. Uh-huh.
that he may learn to fear the Lord
So it's
his God.
something that we have to learn how to fear God. And by reading the book is going to teach us how to fear God. What to do to build that fear for God. Okay? Go ahead.
To keep all the words
To
of this
keep
law
all the words of this law
and these statutes
and
to
these
do them.
statutes to do them.
Verse
Uh-huh.
20, that his heart be not lifted up above his brethren,
Uh-huh.
and that he turn not aside from the commandment to the right hand or to the left. To
Go
the
to-
end,
Let's go to Proverbs 8.
Proverbs chapter 8.
He says, so your heart
Be not lifted up.
be not lifted
above
up
your brethren,
above your brethren.
and that you turn not
When you
aside.
think you're better than someone, or you're better than your brother. What is that? Proverbs 8, I said? Yeah.
Proverbs 8.
Go to Proverbs 8. Tom sheet.
Doth not wisdom cry,
Uh-oh.
and understanding put forth a voice?
He said, doth not wisdom cry?
Yeah,
Huh?
wisdom cry.
Wisdom cries out.
Yeah, so righteous-
But it don't come constantly. It come one time. And if I ignore it, it ain't coming back
Coming
again.
back. So
It don't, it really don't come back. Tom sheet.
And understanding put forth her voice.
Uh-huh.
She standeth in the top
She's
of high
standing in the
places.
top of high places.
By the way, in the places of the path.
Uh-huh.
She crieth at the gates.
She cried at the
At
gates.
the entry of the city.
Uh-huh.
At the coming in at the doors.
Uh-huh.
Unto you, O men, I call.
Uh-huh.
And my voice is to the sons of man.
Wait a minute. You hear that? He said, wisdom. He said, unto you, O man, I call.
Oh, man, get a call.
Huh? This is why my brother said, he said, if me and you is eating a ham sandwich,
Okay.
who do you think wisdom is going to come to first?
Man.
The man.
Not you.
Because he's the head.
Yes.
He has to rule his house according or command his house according to the standards of God.
Wow.
So the wisdom is going to come to him first, and then he passes it down to his wife and then his
She
children.
follow.
So
They
come to
follow.
him first, right?
But his
Yeah.
wisdom is going to come to the men first. God said it. He said, unto you, O men, I call, and my voice is to the sons of men.
Hear
Tom
that?
sheet.
Oh,
Hear
ye
that?
simple, understand.
Understand wisdom.
And ye fools, be ye of an understanding heart.
Tom sheet.
Hear,
Here,
I will speak of
for I will
excellent things.
speak of excellent things.
In the opening of my
The
lips,
word for excellent things is noble things, princely things. Watch your conversation.
righteous.
Why do we continue to conversate about things that's ungodly? Why do we conversate about things that God hates? We should not be talking about things that is contrary from what we are about or we supposed to be about. Why? Because somehow when we speak about things, it has an effect on your spirit. That's why God said, talk about it. When you sit in the house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, when you rise up, because the more you talk about it, the more it has an effect on your spirit. Has an effect on you. So if we're talking about things opposite from what God said, that also is going to have an effect on your spirit, and it ain't going to be right. It ain't going to be good. He said, and the opening of my lips shall be right things. That's why when you say certain things and it ain't right, I look at you and I say, man, don't say that, man. I said, man, you shouldn't say that,
right
man.
to say that.
Man, you shouldn't think that way, man. Man, that's not right, man. Because there are procedures that we should be taking with certain situations. You just don't move off of your emotions. Go ahead.
Verse 7.
Uh-huh.
For my mouth shall speak truth.
For my mouth shall speak truth. That's heavy. You know how on point you gotta be with yourself for your mouth to speak truth, because sometimes lies just jump out your mouth. And my father said, he said, man, I just told a lie. He said, man, yo, man, come on back over here, man. He said, yo, man, what I said just now, that was a lie, man. That was a lie. I don't know why I said that. I don't know why I told you that. That just jumped out of me and just said it. And it happens to where you say certain things and then you question about why you said it or what you said. And then you're like, yo, what's wrong with me? Why did I just say that? Tom, see?
For my mouth shall speak truth, and wickedness is an abomination.
Wickedness is an abomination to my lips. Watch your conversations. Watch your conversations. All this is speaking about your ways. All this speaks about your ways. Your ways is what God is looking at. To the things that causes us to be pushed away from God. Your ways, man. Tom, see?
All the words of my mouth are in righteousness. There is nothing forward or perverse.
All the words of my mouth are in righteousness. There is nothing forward or perverse in them.
They are all.
The word forward is nephilta. Niftal. It means crooked or deceitful. Crooked means dishonest or immoral, evasive. So now we got to get into these words. Evasive means tending to avoid commitment. Commitment. You ain't committed. You ain't committed to a walk. You're all over the place. Those type of people that avoid commitment can't serve God. Right. Immoral means not conforming or agreeing to accepted standards of morality. Morality is principles concerning the distinction between what is right or wrong. Wait a minute. Principles concerning the distinction. So the principles is what shows you the difference between right and wrong. But if you don't read the book, then how would you be able to tell what is right from what is wrong? Because the only thing you consider right or wrong is supposed to be according to what God thinks. Right. According to what God said is right and wrong. Not according to what you say, or what I say, or what we say. Because what we say don't count. The only thing that counts is what God said. What God thinks is evil, what God said is evil, what God said is good. And these principles that we read about in this book will show us that. Forward means willfully contrary. Contrary means inclined. You're inclined to disagree. You hear that, man? When you're contrary, you are inclined to disagree. Regardless if it's right or wrong, you just want to disagree. You don't care. Right? Inclined to disagree and do the opposite of what is expected or desired. Now, perverse. Perverse is ichesh. Ichesh means perverse. It means obstinate in opposing what is right, reasonable, or accepted. Time sheet.
Verse 9.
Verse 9.
They are all plain to him that understand it, and right to him that findeth knowledge.
Wait a minute. They are all plain. The word for plain is nekokim. They are all plain. The word nekokim means they are all just and right to him that departs from evil.
That's what matters.
That's the only thing that matters. to a God-fearing man that departs from evil. What is right and just by God? Huh? What is right and just by God? But in order to see these things and be able to acknowledge what is just and right by God, you have to be on that road, on that walk of departing from evil. Which means you can't be the way you is. You can't continue to be the way you is. So why are we change the outward appearance, but we still act in that? You got to change, man. Oh, I'm doing it. No, you ain't. The last thing to change is that which I can't see. That thing that I can't see, I see the physical, but when I try to see through you, I can't see through you. God is the only one that can see through you and penetrate that flesh to see if you're truly changing your ways, your inside. You can tell. I can only tell if you're changing by how you act. It's you only showing me this. This is what you're showing me. You ain't changed. You're still moving like them. You're still moving like Jack in the Box. Stop picking your hair. Tom sheet.
They are all plain to him that understand it, and right to them that find knowledge. Receive my instruction and not silver.
Where we at?
10.
Receive my instructions and not silver. You know what's the word for instructions? Accept. Receive means to accept. Instructions is musad, means correction. Accept the correction of God. You know what that means? To accept the correction and the chastisement of God. You will know when it's the correction of God. When I'm sitting up in that hospital. You will know when it's the correction of God. When I'm in jail looking at 12 years. You will know when it's the correction of God, when the city buster ran you over and you survived. But you accept the correction by acknowledging your faults. You say, oh, Lord God, I know why this is happening to me. I know why this is happening to me. Because this ain't nothing that happened by chance. All these things that's happening to me is because I came up short with your laws, commandments, and statutes, oh Lord. Right. And we got to mean this in sincerity of heart. There you go. And change. Don't just voice it, just to voice it. Right. You got to mean it. And God knows whether you mean it or not. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. God knows whether you mean it or not, man. Receive my instructions.
And not silver.
And not silver.
And knowledge rather than choice gold.
Time sheet.
For wisdom is better than rubies.
Wisdom is better than rubies.
And all the things that may be desired are not to be compared to it.
Time sheet.
I, wisdom, dwell with prudence.
Wait a minute. It goes hand in hand. He said, I, wisdom, dwell with prudence. Wisdom and prudence is friends.
Wisdom come around a person is prudent.
Wisdom comes around a person that is prudent.
I got you.
So if you ain't prudent, forget about it. You ain't got no wisdom. You ain't got no wisdom. The book done revealed you, bro. I said the book done revealed you. If you are not prudent, wisdom ain't, you ain't got no wisdom. Now, what is prudence?
Yeah.
We have to realize and understand what is prudence. Okay? Prudence means what? To govern and discipline oneself.
A city?
To govern and discipline oneself. So if I can't realize or recognize my faults with God, I'm not prudent. If I can't recognize my faults and my offense that I did to you or how I acted, I'm not prudent. Wisdom gonna flee from you. What else is prudence? Prudence is being cautious.
Being
Cautiousness. Being cautious with God. That's first. You must be cautious with God. If I do this, would I be violating? If I do this, would I be violating the Shabbat? If I do this, would I be violating God? So therefore, I pull back. No, I ain't sweeping. Because I ain't got Moses here to explain to me if I should be sweeping or not. So therefore, the broom stays there.
That's right.
Well, it's fair. Well, I'm kicking it to the side. Why? Because I have to be right with God, and I have to make sure that I'm right with God. I don't use tools, mops and brooms on Shabbat. You're not going to catch me in the kitchen washing no dishes and cleaning. And all the cleaning, all the mopping and sweeping must be done before the sun set on Friday. But we play it too close. We play it too close. Like God done came to you and spoke to you and told you it was okay. It's all right for you to get the broom and sweep, John. Damn fools. Fools, man. Yeah, you gotta be fools, man, because you're playing with your life, man. The things people do on God's day makes the hair on my arm stands up. Because I'm afraid to play around on this day, man. I don't mess around on this day. Take this day serious, man.
Any other day holier than this day?
No.
Okay, thank you.
It ain't no other day holier than this day.
Thank you.
None.
No other day. Not even Yom Kippur.
No other day.
I said not even Yom Kippur.
No other day.
The holiest day of the year. It comes every 7 days.
52 times.
But guess what? You see the most people on feast days. You don't see everybody come around on Shabbat. As soon as Pesach come, people start popping out. Hey, pop out on Shabbat.
You see Melchizedek in the feast day.
Yeah. That's when you see him.
You don't see Chaz on Shabbat.
Our wisdom dwell with prudence and find out what. Now hold on, let me finish. The ability to govern and discipline oneself by the use of reasoning.
Okay.
By using reasoning. What is reasoning? Reasoning is when you think about something in a logical, sensible way. You think about it logically, not emotionally. Use your logic.
It's a big difference. Yeah.
According to your emotions now, everything goes.
Everything goes. It's reckless.
Because I'm emotional.
It's reckless.
And you didn't see me, and I never showed you that type of, or gave you that type of energy.
Right.
But you're emotional. So you judge things and come up with decisions in an emotional way without using emotional feelings. That's reasoning. Cautiousness, right? Quality of being careful about what you say and do to avoid danger, to avoid mistakes, to avoid risk.
Danger, mistakes, and risk.
To avoid danger, mistakes, and risk. Because in one of those risks and dangers and mistakes with God can cost you your life.
That's right.
Sometimes God put you down, and when God put you down and you done ran over, you done ran your cup done ran over. You done reached your limit. There's no coming back, man. Nothing is gonna, nothing, man. There's no coming back, man. Time sheet.
Our wisdom dwell with prudence and find out knowledge of witty inventions. The fear of the Lord is to hate evil.
Oh my goodness. I said the fear of God is to what?
Hate evil.
The fear of God is to hate
And know what to hate.
God shows us and tells us what to hate.
Yeah.
So when you had people coming to you talking about things that God that is against the law, hate it and despise it, and don't indulge in those type of conversations.
Yeah.
When you can't indulge in every conversation.
You can't support it.
What are you doing talking about these things? God hate it and despise it. But we indulge in these hateful conversations that God hates. Go ahead.
Pride.
The
Pride.
fear of the Lord is to hate evil.
Pride. And arrogancy.
All right. Let's see what's pride and arrogancy.
Uh-oh.
Why I need to look that up is because I want to know if I got pride and arrogancy with me. I need to identify the pride and the arrogancy in me.
That's right.
See, this is the outlook. This is how we read the book. You read the book to find yourself. I say you read the book to analyze yourself. You read the book to find yourself. Reading it and you say, that's me. I have done that. I have violated.
That's how I am.
Now you know what to change. Okay? So what is pride? Pride is haughty, being haughty. It means having an attitude of superiority and inferior.
I am superior.
Content for people perceived to be less than you.
You are less.
Okay.
I look down.
You look down on them.
I look down upon people.
You look down on people. Okay? What is arrogance? You exaggerate your own importance in an overbearing manner. I know you're good at it. Why are you still emphasizing on it? Huh? Asserting one's will over another in a forceful way.
I don't want to do it. Why I gotta do it?
Go ahead, Tom C.
In the evil way, and the forward mouth do I hate. Counsel is mine, and sound wisdom I am understanding. I have strength. By me kings reign, and princes
read that over.
Justice.
What verse is that?
13. I'm going to scroll back from 13.
No, not 13. Is it 13?
Yeah.
Go ahead, read 13.
13.
Verse
The
13.
fear of the Lord is to hate evil.
The fear of the Lord is to hate evil.
Pride.
Hate pride.
And arrogance.
And arrogance.
And the evil way.
Okay. How many times God said to purchase a heart? How do you get a heart? You got to get rid of pride.
December from pride.
You got to get rid of pride.
Pride, arrogance, and the evil way.
That's right. Ice. The cup. You're lucky to be on camera, brother.
I'm glad to.
Let me tell you. And the forward mouth.
And the forward mouth do I hate.
The forward mouth do I hate. Tom C.
Counsel is mine.
Counsel is mine. Advice is mine. Counsel is mine. What do you mean? Who said that?
Wisdom.
Wisdom. Wisdom is what counsel you.
That's what counsel.
I said wisdom is your advice. Wisdom is your counsel. Tom C.
Counsel is mine, and sound wisdom. I am understanding. I have strength.
I am understanding. I have strength.
By me, kings reign.
By me, kings reign.
Princes decree justice.
Princes decree justice.
By me, princes rule.
Princes rule.
And nobles.
And nobles.
Even all the judges of the earth.
Even all the judges of the earth.
I love them that love me.
I love them that love me. Wisdom. He said, if you love wisdom, where do you find wisdom? Through the performance of the laws of God. Then you will receive wisdom. Go ahead, read.
And those that seek me early
shall find me. If you're looking, if you're seeking and you're looking, you will find them.
Early.
There had never been a person that was seeking and looking for God and didn't find
the Lord. Never will.
Tom C.
Riches and honor are with me.
Uh-huh.
Yea, durable riches and righteousness.
Uh-huh.
My fruit is better than gold.
He said, my fruit is better than gold. What
Yay.
wisdom got to give is better than gold. Tom, see?
Yea.
Proverbs chapter 8,
Verse 19.
verse 19.
My fruit is better than gold.
Uh-huh.
Yea, than fine gold.
Uh-huh.
And my revenue than choice silver.
Uh-huh.
I lead in the way of righteousness.
I lead in the way of righteousness.
In the midst of the paths of judgment.
Uh-huh.
That I may cause those that love me to inherit substance.
That I may cause those that love me to inherit substance, and I will fill their treasures. Now, when you look up the definition of substance, it means, it ain't talking about substance. It's talking about an essential nature. You're talking about your inner self, character, character. Okay, your inner self is your subconscious thoughts, memories that you hold on to, emotions, and other aspects of your mind that makes up who you are. How you think. That's why in the book, was that in the book? So a man thinking, so is he. How you think is how you is. I said, how a person thinks tells me your character, tells me who you are. Because a person would say, nah, I ain't doing that. He said, well, me, no, not me. Not me. Okay, I'm going to give you an example. The dude gave me an extra $10. When I went to go buy something, I went back to him, I gave him the $10. So the dude comes to me, he said, what you did? He said, I gave back the $10, he gave me $10 extra. He said, no, not me, I would have kept it. Oh, well, how you thinking right there tells me what you would have did. Tells me who you are. Now you know who you should be dealing with or walking with just by the things that people say and their actions and how they live. That tells me who I need to walk with, who I need to separate myself from, who I need to stay away from, because I'm not like you. We ain't the same. Tom, see? Now hold up. The inner self is the part of us that we are not always aware of. Huh? Because it's subconscious. You know what subconscious thoughts is? Or have control over. This includes values, beliefs, characteristics. The self resides in our subconscious mind. The inner self is connected to our emotions.
This should answer a lot of questions.
Oh, yeah.
About your inner self.
I said your inner self is connected to your emotions.
Wisdom will control.
Wisdom controls that.
See?
The wisdom that we read and we get from following these laws, commandments, and statutes will control those subconscious thoughts and the beliefs and the things that you like. It will control that. Tom, see?
And I will fill their treasures. Verse 22, the Lord possessed me in the beginning of his way.
The Lord possessed me in the beginning of his way. When was the beginning of the way of God? The creation.
That's what it's done.
So during the creation, God had wisdom with him. Go ahead. Wisdom was with God during the beginning of his way.
That's right. The Lord possessed me in the beginning of his way before his works of old.
Before his works of old.
I was set up from everlasting.
I said I was set up from everlasting.
From the beginning.
From the beginning.
Forever the earth was.
Before the earth was created.
Was it there?
Before, look, when God was hovering over those waters and darkness was upon the face of the deep, wisdom was there with God.
Right there.
Right. I said wisdom was right there. Go ahead.
Right.
I was set up from everlasting from the beginning.
I was set up from everlasting from the beginning before the earth was.
When there were no depths.
Hold up. Depths. The word for depths is the abyss. The bottomless pit. The abyss is below sea level. Go ahead.
I was brought forth when there were no fountains abounding with water.
You know the fountains in the Hebrew, it says springs.
Springs.
We have springs that are below sea level. That if God opened up those springs, the earth's going to get flooded.
And
The
boil.
water will continue to rise
Very hot.
and continue to
Very
rise.
very
But
hot.
right now, as we speak, God got those springs closed.
Right, decree.
Closed. Tom, see?
Before the mountains were settled,
Uh-huh.
before the hills was I brought forth.
Uh-huh.
While as yet he had not made the earth, nor the fields, nor the highest part of the dust of the world.
While the earth, he said, wisdom was there first before God made created anything.
Yep.
The mountains before the hills, wisdom was there with God first.
From everlasting
Tom, see?
from the beginning. When he prepared the heavens, I was there.
When he prepared the heavens, I was there.
When he set a compass upon the face of the depth,
Uh-huh.
when he established the clouds above, when he strengthened the fountains of the deep, when he gave to the sea his decree that the waters should not pass.
When he
his
gave
commandment.
to the sea his decree that the water should not pass.
His commandment.
You ever been to the beach and the wave comes up, slam down, and the water
No
comes
time.
in and it stops right there.
That's the point.
That's the decree that God said.
That's the decree.
That's the decree that God said, and that water is commanded to slide on back down.
Pacific and Atlantic. That's
Huh?
the decree.
Huh? There's a separation between the Pacific and the Atlantic,
That's the decree.
and they don't mix.
No.
It
Fresh
touch
water.
but don't
They
mix.
touch, but it
No,
don't
You
mix.
see the difference.
God put that split there.
The fish don't course. That's right. The fish don't
Tom sheet.
That's a fact.
When he gave to the sea his decree
Uh-huh.
that the waters should not pass his commandment,
Mm-hmm.
when he appointed the foundations of the earth, then I was by him, as one brought up with him. And I was daily his delight, rejoicing always before him,
Uh-huh.
rejoicing in the habitable part of his earth.
Rejoicing in the habitable part of the earth. Wisdom is not in
In Alaska.
Alaska.
Or the South Pole,
You know why I said wisdom is not in Alaska?
Antarctica.
Because you have 6 months of day and 6 months of night.
Days
Right.
So when the
and
Shabbat comes,
Man, keep it for 6
it's
months.
got to
Johnny.
keep Shabbat for 6 months.
days and nights are
You better not break it.
You shouldn't be in. Okay, go ahead.
And my delights were with the sons of men.
Mm-hmm.
Now therefore hearken unto me, O ye children, for blessed are they that keep my ways.
Blessed are they that keep my ways.
Yeah.
Here,
Blessed are they that keep my ways. Remember, the ways of God and the commandments are two different things. It's not the same. You hear what God, you hear what this? Let's finish reading. Blessed are they that keep the ways of God. Uh-huh.
for blessed are they that keep my ways,
Uh-huh.
hear instruction and be
Hear
wise,
instruction and be wise.
and refuse it not.
Refuse it not.
Blessed is the man that heareth me,
Blessed is the man that heareth me.
watching daily
Watching
at my
daily
gates,
at my
waiting
gates.
at the posts of my
Waiting
doors.
at the posts of my doors.
For whoso findeth
For
me
whoso
findeth life,
findeth me findeth life.
and shall obtain favor of the Lord.
Uh-huh.
But he that sinneth against me wrongeth
Wrong
his own soul.
All they that hate me
love
love
death.
death.
Death. Yeah.
And with that, our God was born.
Must love
Yeah.
death.
Yeah.
Must love death.
And if you have
You try to block God, but you can't. John.
if you have any questions, ask the questions. If you don't have any questions, then we're gonna shut down. We will be starting Shabbat services tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Next week, I'm gonna give a lesson about the Feast of Unleavened Bread. What we should be eating
Uh-huh.
and what we shouldn't be
The
eating.
rules.
The rules of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. I don't call it the Passover because it was only one Passover.
Sure.
It was only one Passover when the death angel passed over Egypt and killed the firstborn in Egypt. So, with that being said, tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom Lekar.
11 o'clock. Oh, no. Oh, I said 1 o'clock. I'm sorry. 11 o'clock, not 1 o'clock.
11 a.m.
Tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Shabbat Shalom.